McCall Pack. Welcome to Beacon Hills, a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to the hit MTV show Teen Wolf. I am Lilith Hellfire, one of your co-captains, and joining me, as always, is your other co-captain.
Hi, I am Dahne, and welcome to Beacon Hills. Today we're talking about episode 504, which is called Condition Terminal. Yeah, it really was terminal. Or maybe it was interminal, as in it never stopped. This may be the longest episode of Teen Wolf of my entire life.
Which is ironic, because it was like the shortest runtime we've had in a while. At 40 minutes, 38 seconds. Mm-hmm.
Was it really? Wow! It felt like 6 hours.
I concur. And to pull a quote from another one of my fandoms, you have failed this city.
There's not so many times when I can say Liam is right.
You know, this is going to be a tough episode. Dawn's agreeing with Liam. Uh-oh. Well, nothing left to it but to do it. But did you see any Teen Wolf news? I saw a few of the usual suspects. I believe it was like Pop Sugar and Hypable, and maybe it was even AV Club that were pushing these articles around. They were talking about how they're afraid for Lydia and Styles, the characters of Lydia and Styles during season 5. Like, maybe they're going to be killed off or just bad characterizations. I agree about that about Styles, but this is the best Lydia has been for a while.
I think the whole pushing of Lydia and Parrish together is completely squicky. Let's quote my inner Buffy. It gives me the Wiggins. So I would say that for as far as Lydia being developed as a character and actually being able to defend herself and getting a handle of her banshee powers and all that stuff, if what we saw in the premiere is where it's going with Lydia, this will be the best season of Lydia ever. I think Styles had the best plan, but we'll get to that later.
Okay, so previously on Teen Wolf.
Previously on Teen Wolf, Tracy spouted a tale as a Kanema, paralyzed everyone, and stabbed Lydia. Kira went full Kitsune and cut off her tail, which was awesome and the best scene that Kira has ever had in the entire show as well. Malia talked her down instead of killing her, but the steampunk scientist killed Tracy anyway. And that's what happened previously on Teen Wolf. When it was good, my ability to think today.
Have a new director, I'm pretty sure, Bronwyn Hughes, and this episode was written by Jeff Davis and Ian Stokes. And the synopsis for this is that Parrish reveals to Lydia that he's been having a recurring dream where he carries a dead body to the Nemeton and sets himself on fire. The doctors have abducted Donovan and transformed him into a supernatural creature, which some people say is a Wendigo, and I say it is probably not a Wendigo. Theo is revealed to be working with the doctor, so yes, we get the early reveal that Theo is up to no good and he is irredeemable because he has sick Donovan on Styles, which is a no-no.
Can we just all agree he's evil now and that he is working with the steampunk scientist? Because quite frankly, that was a dumb argument to be having the whole time.
I'm so upset that he's working with the Dread Doctors. Like, I totally wanted a single white female storyline for Scott, because it's like the natural evolution of Scott McCall. Because it's like this big, great mythos about the great and wonderful Scott McCall. So he was bound to have like a creepy stalker that wanted to wear his skin for a nice coat.
All right, and we are not letting Lilith write for Teen Wolf ever.
I'll save it for the fanfic. That's fine. Meanwhile, Beaton explains that Tracy was a hybrid of a werewolf and a Kanema, and figures out that somebody is definitely trying to turn humans into supernatural creatures, and he thinks that the result is terrifying. He also calls them chimeras, which conveniently the bio teacher is giving, the AP bio teachers is kind of sort of, that's her lesson plan for the day. Convenient plot point is convenient.
Gotta say, I never realized that AP biology also included mythology.
Well, there are chimeras that occur, and actually, outside of AP bio, I heard it in CSI, the original one, and then they also did one on Law and Order SVU, where the guy, and on top of that, his dead twin, he absorbed it, and that's how he became a chimera. I don't think that's how most people become chimeras in the real world, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, it occurs. Lydia is on her way to recovery. Scott, Kira, Liam, and Brett head over to the new hot gay bar in town where they encounter a scorpion monster who I was bummed wasn't 10 feet tall. Kira loses her control and Scott says, I love you. And the doctors finally are revealed to the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that really happened.
Or, if you want to keep it simple, like the official press release, Sal attracts a fugitive, and Liam plays wingman for Mason at a nightclub. I think that's how some fanfic starts, I'm pretty sure.
Well, you could also do my synopsis. Just stop, Parrish and Lydia. Cool but weird dream. Sleep, Styles, sleep. Yes, Liam, you should be doing something. Keep sleeping, Styles. You're not missing a thing. Turn your freaking music down. Kira, wow, there's that belt sword again. Bound to be a Teen Wolf, bingo card space. Aw, Mama McCall, you are always awesome. What the heck are you doing to Styles? Jeff Davis, you are safe.
So let's just get on over to. I just want to say I absolutely think that it was a misstep. Was like we've been doing these cold horror inspired openings, and now we have this weird. Hey, let's push this ship and like confuse the hell out of the viewers even more about what Parrish is. Yay!
And then put a flashback within a flashback. What the heck was that?
Within a dream sequence.
It's like,
what is this? The Princess Bride?
What are we doing here? Not to mention, the pacing is all screwed from the very beginning because you start with this weirdo conversation, flirt, squick mess. Then you go to the horror, and then you go back to where the last episode left off. What is up with that? That is like the craziest kind of planning.
That's so Teen Wolf, it hurts though.
There's so much on here that's Teen Wolf, and not Teen Wolf the good. Yay, Teen Wolf! The Teen Wolf, Teen Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's get into some highlights, because for me, and I know I'm sure you make it a point to find some
I did. I stretched hard and wide.
Oh, serious fan waking session in 5, 4.
Liam is a highlight. That tells you everything.
We're going to start off with some of our favorite scenes.
I have 3 favorite scenes that I expanded to 5 because that's what we were looking for. So I'm just going to start off with the best one there is, and that is the Mama McCall scene, because she is always awesome. If she's going to give a speech, everyone should stand around and listen, because she is like wisdom embodied. So I did like her. I did not like the part before her speech where she's shooting and all that other whatever disaster that thing was. But I did love where she basically said, hey, I can't tell you not to be a part of this because you're going to be a part of this and that's who you are and you need to be who you are. So what are you going to do? I think she's very inspiring and I thought that was a great scene.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely did not like the shooting part like everybody else did. My favorite scene though is Lydia laying up in the hospital bed and realizing that she doesn't want to be a victim anymore and she wants to fight back. And she asks Parrish, this is the only thing Parrish is good for, it's for some self-defense lesson.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do have a problem with jiu-jitsu, especially if he's teaching it to a female. I think that Sistima or maybe even Carl McGraw would be better for Lydia. But then again, you have to get really close. But then that's jiu-jitsu too, so I don't know. That's the only thing.
I have no problem with it's jiu-jitsu, karate, taekwondo, or just street fighting. She needs to learn to fight. I have that in my best moments because I hate that scene, but I love the result of that scene. Do like that Lydia wants to fight. I think it's smart. It's something that's been at the top of my wish list underneath killing off Grandpa Evil and Kate and Liam. Number 2. I can't even believe this is on my favorites list. Psycho Bite Styles.
Really?
Yep. I'm not a fan of people attacking Styles. I'm not a fan of that at all. I only kickstarted the episode in the last 30 seconds. So I feel like we finally got somewhere. We got something that was important that happened in the episode besides just exposition everywhere. Quite frankly, this episode could have been 10 minutes long and it would not have, cut out anything important at all. So, but this was important. So I'm going with that.
I'll go with the introduction of Deputy Clark, who is all there for Sheriff Stilinski.
Mm.
She's like, there is a killer on the loose who wants your blood. Yeah, it's my day off, but I got your back.
Mm.
Responsible deputy that doesn't have to be on desk duty and can't answer a simple freaking noise complaint without getting murdered, half murdered to death. Again, competence is a thing I like.
I really do like her. But I'm not going to invest my time in her because she's got red shirt stamped all over.
Oh, absolutely. But at least somebody in the actual department has sheriff's back.
Very true. That's very nice. And, the idea that they're giving her some extra time just means that it's going to be all that more painful when she dies. So, all right, number 3. It's really actually a screen cap more than a scene, but that's okay. Parrish and the Nemeton. I am one of the few people who is okay with the Nemeton coming back into play because if nothing else, it has to have some answers somewhere. So I'm all good with the Nemeton.
Why wouldn't they be okay with the Nemeton? What's wrong? It's better than Eichenhaus at this point. Hashtag rapey, no thank you.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people who feel like that storyline had played its part and should be over. But for me, the Nemeton is basically the Hellmouth. It is
Exactly.
Beacon Hills, and you can't have Beacon Hills without it. So I would rather it come into play in the actual storyline, be obviously a point of the plot, than for me having to fan wank everything. Oh, well, maybe it's because of the Nemeton. At least they're telling me it's because of the Nemeton, and I'm good with that. And I think that they did a fantastic job of creating that scene. I thought the directing was good in that scene. I like the flames coming up. I like the bodies all along. It was very, very horror-ish, but it was also very stylish. So I thought that it just really worked well as a visual.
Okay, I can see that. I'm all for the Nemeton being revived. It was on the peripheral. It's kind of like the semi. If Peter Hale isn't available, blame the Nemeton situation. I do think that I would be interested in an actual like backstory history lesson.
Yes.
Maybe we get Talia in there. I'm always here for having Talia come back.
Oh yeah, well, that's a great idea.
Let's see. My next one is when Natalie is Mama Martin is wheeling Lydia out of the hospital, and Lydia is like, "You can't say what you saw," and like Natalie, dang it. Lydia's mom, just in true like supernatural mom mode, goes, "I just saw a crazy girl trying to kill everybody." She totally joiced the hell out of that one.
Yes, I swear. As soon as she said that, I'm like, man, we're back in Sunnydale. I actually didn't like that scene because it was Sunnydale, but I did like the idea that, someone was actually with Lydia. Someone who cares about her was with her as she was being wheeled over. And it's amazing. Unlike, when the Deadpool was around and she's worth millions of dollars and her entire pack is just like, sure, Lydia, go wander off wherever you want. No problem.
Dude, seriously, Teen Wolf was turning into Pretty Little Liars where the parents would just disappear for like 3 seasons and the kids are having parties and being stalked to death and no parents whatsoever. So this resurgence of teen parent, I'm okay with, especially for Lydia.
I will agree with that. This is the first time I've actually liked Tall Prep Blonde. So I am throwing in the club fight as a best scene. I like that he is the one who basically pulled the Scorpio off of Mason and told him to run. I like how he started the fight.
Okay, I'm gonna say that I even though I don't like Theo's plan, I think that it's a smart plan, and I like smart villains.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's like, no, you don't go after Sheriff. You go after everything he loves.
I will say that number 5 on my list is also Theo taunts Psycho, and not for that reason. I do like that he's smart. I don't like that he sent him off after Styles, which actually ends up being not smart, because that means he's going to die. Not that I have any problem with that. Anyway,
Exactly.
What I liked about it is that I thought that it was fairly good acting. I thought that Theo came off as super creepy. He was confident. he looks like he can, of all of the teen assassins we've had, and let's face it, Teen Wolf loves its teen assassins. But of all of them that we've had, he's the only one that sounds like he might actually have a clue. But I also really, really liked it because it does end the whole debate about whether Theo is evil or not. He is. We're done. Let's kill him. Move on.
I agree. I like the shout out to Wendigos in the bestiary.
Okay.
As a Supernatural fan, and of course Grimm, and a lot of my Supernatural shows have covered it, so I've just been waiting on Teen Wolf to kind of get around to it, and it was kind of a nice little shout out.
And all of our fans now go, most of those things in your best scenes are not scenes.
Deal with it.
Welcome to this episode. Oh, yeah.
And if you're wondering why I keep saying hashtag, it's because Teen Wolf has had the worst hashtags this episode, this side of season 4. Like, I just could not believe it. Theo the Good, and Scott says I love you to Kira. And
Theo the Good? Is that why everybody started putting that in there? I totally did.
Yeah, it was a hashtag.
Okay. Who in their right mind thought Theo was good, even at the beginning of this episode?
When he saved Lydia, and then Styles gave him the nod of appreciation.
Really? Because I got Styles giving him the, what the heck you doing getting the praise for the person that I like? That's what I got out of that.
Me too, but, I've seen a lot of recaps say that. It's like, I'm assuming that's what a lot of the fandom thought. So yeah, okay, let's talk lines. There's not a lot of lines. I have, like, exactly one, and I hope you don't have it.
Okay, I have 8, so I'm good with that. I thought the lines were a whole lot better than the scenes.
I thought this was atrocious dialogue.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, Kira, what do you even call that? Deaton. Personally, I call it terrifying, because that is like true Teen Wolf melodramatic fashion. And Deaton is the biggest drama queen on this show. I'm sorry.
That is my number 2. I thought it was great. I was like, well, finally, somebody's calling it like it is. At all interesting.
Oh, my next favorite line comes from Deaton. I'll be out of town for a few days. I go, good, you're useless. Come back useful.
I have a whole recap on that. Number 1 for me, Mama McCall's speech. When she says, I know that I can't be the mom that says, I don't want you to do anything about this, because you're always going to be involved. Because not only do you have the power to do something, you care enough to do it, so all you really need is to ask yourself, what am I going to do? Long, dramatic pause. Scott, I'm going to find out who did this, and I'm going to stop him. You go, Scott. Be your true alpha self.
But isn't that, it's redundant. She said this before.
Yeah, I don't care. It's the best thing that happened in this episode. Number 3 for me. Kira, kicking it in the dialogue. She's in 2 of them. All right. Please tell me that doesn't mean there's a giant scorpion running around Beacon Hills. I just loved her reaction when she said it. Her face, and she was just like, oh, no, just let's
I wish our house would have got foreclosed on now.
Exactly. Okay, get out of Dodge here. All right, number 4, Liam. For the 2nd episode in a row, Liam makes my good list. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's not the right one. Sorry. Here it is. Liam, I just feel like I should be doing something. Hallelujah.
Agreed.
You are the voice of reason. That is the voice of the fandom shining through. Absolutely. Because by the time we got to this part, I was like, oh my goodness, are we not going to have any action in this entire episode? And finally, it was Liam who said it. Of course, then they decide to not do anything and suck away all of my time. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you, Mason. Number 4, Brett. No, I didn't catch anything. Liam, no one else in here's like us? Brett, I don't know, dude. Maybe. Beacon Hills. What's the difference? I like how nonchalant he is. He's like, it's Beacon Hills. There's got to be something freaky in here somewhere. Whatever.
Like, ever since Danny said that, I feel like that's just, like, Jeff Davis's, like, philosophy on the writer's board. Dude, comma, it's Beacon Hills.
Yep.
And then in parentheses, go for it.
Seriously, one of my words were like, 10-foot tall scorpions? Dude, it's Beacon Hills. No problem. I'll believe anything you throw at me at that. I won't believe any of your canon, but I'll believe any monster you want to throw at me at this point. At this point, Rainy Sharks and Sharknado 9 will not surprise me in Beacon Hills. Parrish, this is sounding less like a magic trick and more like assault. Yes, on me. Stop it, you creepy people. I liked the sheriff and Deaton banter as far as it wasn't just dumb. Part of it was just dumb. But I do like when Deaton said, I think the coroner might be very confused by this girl's severed reptilian tail. And I gotta say, I'm fine with them holding the press conference in Beacon Hills because, seriously, they have to know something's going on. I mean, they watched Malia pick up a tree by herself. Come on.
And we're unfazed and nonplussed.
Yes, and they're like, okay, moving on. Thank you. Let me get my car out of the way. A press conference can't do anything but confirm what they already know. Stuff is freaky there. So those are basically my favorite lines. I thought.
But wait, if we hold a press conference, the 6 people that run Beacon Hills can't possibly know that it's freaky deaky there because they wouldn't be working in Beacon Hills. So no, Dawn, then everything's going to collapse.
I personally think that the 6 people who know and are running Beacon Hills, I think the 6 people who are running Beacon Hills already know and that they're in league with the supernatural.
Oh, they're the council from Vampire Diaries. I have been seeing so many comparisons to Vampire Diaries and Teen Wolf this season. And early Vampire Diaries, yes, just not anything after Elena becomes a vampire, and I'm okay.
I personally compare it to Buffy. This is the mayor's office and Principal Snyder to me. They all know what's going on. They just don't want to, get it out in the open.
So, moment.
Dug deep for those two.
I had a ton of moments. I don't know why. Yeah, my favorite moment is like Malia's trying to tell them about the drug doctors, and Styles and Scott just give each other the look. It's like, but dude, it's the only thing about this moment is that if you really think that she's lying, Malia's not the kind of person that would kill somebody and then lie about it. She would just be like, yeah, I killed her. She was a tough one.
Yeah.
But they both just kind of look at each other like, yeah, okay, Malia, pat. there. Calm your feminine hysteria, please.
Exactly. For me, it wasn't that they didn't believe her that she didn't kill them. For me, it was that they didn't believe that there were 3 people who killed her. It was really weird. It was like they thought that she was going crazy is what it looked like to me. And I'm thinking, dude, it's Beacon Hills. Why would this story suddenly make you question somebody? I mean, you took 10-foot scorpion without any problem at all.
I feel like we're missing a scene out of this episode when that happened. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. What they get weirded out about in Beacon Hills is so strange. I don't even understand. Because like 10-foot scorpion, no problem. Canema with werewolf claws, no problem. Hey, we got the eagle talon, no problem. Malia sees 3 people kill Tracy. Oh no, she must be nuts.
But she's like, they were really tall and they had masks. She wasn't very articulate.
No, she wasn't. But really, are the masks really going to be your problem here?
Oh, they know they could be fighting Los Lucha Libres or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just craziness. So I got they believed Malia didn't kill her, but they thought Malia was nuts thing, which made me think, well, then who did they think killed her? I don't know. The whole thing was just, for me, none of it made logical sense. And so it bugged me every time, even though that should have been my favorite moment because it is the one single time in the entire episode where Scott and Styles are on the same page.
I know, well, season, basically.
Yeah, yep. All right, my favorite moment of the night, courtesy of Deaton. Deaton stops the Kira Scott makeout session.
That was my next one! Oh my god! I was like, good timing, Deaton. Thank you.
Like, score. If we can't have anything else in this entire episode go right, we at least did not have a makeout session. Thank you, Deaton.
Oh, yeah, that was like definitely up there for me because I just study, go research. You don't need to be kissy all the dang time. Anyway, my favorite moment, and it's so weird because it made the fandom mad. So like I was on the boards, I was on Tumblr, I was on Reddit, and a couple other forums, and they were like, man, Jeff Davis is such a troll. We wanted Brett to be gay, and he made him bi. They're like, oh, total Styles moment from season 3B. I'm just like, okay.
Okay.
I do think that Jeff does troll the fandom like that, though.
I thought people were excited about that. We must have been following different people.
I guess, like, people want Brett to be gay because, hot, shirtless, bound to be more of that.
Okay.
Yeah. I just found it funny that the fandom just thinks that Jeff trolls them, and I definitely think he does, and I definitely think that was a big style troll. So
I don't know. All I know is it was in the middle of the most hideous stuff that Teen Wolf has done, the Never-Ending Rave, part 92. So I didn't care about anything that happened.
R.I.P. the jungle and drag queens. Welcome to cinema, the underage horror that never ends.
All right, number 2. Styles follows the blood trail to Lydia. I'm not sure why he's the only person who follows the blood trail, but he does. So I thought that was smart. I liked Styles' reaction. I hated the direction of the whole scene. Just hated it. But I did like that it allowed both Holland and Dylan to do some silent acting. And I think that they did that well.
Okay, next favorite moment, and if this is not your list, I'm gonna hurt you, Dawn. Hot Doc gets a line and some screen time.
It's not on my list, but it is in my episode awards. Let's just put it this way. Hot Doc was one of the big highlights of this episode, and he was in it for 6 seconds. Styles' face when Mama McCall compliments Theo on saving Lydia, but I also liked Theo's face when he realizes that Lydia is important to Styles. If that doesn't become a plot twist later on, I'm going to drop kick everyone.
Well, yeah, I don't think it is. I heard that there's rumors that he's going after Malia, but I think that trailer was misleading.
See, then what was the point? What was the point of any of this?
Well, that's a lot you got to ask yourself in Teen Wolf, though. At the end of the day, no matter how good the season, some of that stuff is, what was the point?
Moving on.
I liked when Styles comes in to take away Corey's pain. And it's like it's something that he does because he's a good person, and he kind of takes for granted that it won't take it out of him. And then all of a sudden, Kira and Melissa have to pull him away, and he's so exhausted. And I don't know. It's Scott being Scott, I guess. And as a Scott fan, I like seeing him care, and he wants to save everybody. That's his downfall, but that's his Achilles heel, but it's also what kind of endears Scott to me. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that Scott, well, he didn't really come off good in this episode either, but he came off really good in that moment. And I think that was a very big high point of the episode. Mostly because for all the stuff that didn't matter in the end, and really that didn't matter in the end, it was the one that at least had some heart to it. So I like that. Let's see. Malia insists she did not kill Tracy. I mean, it's the first thing out of her mouth. I didn't kill her. Nothing else. The very first thing she says is, I didn't kill her. And I just thought that was cute. That's totally Malia for me. There's all this other stuff. She's freaking out. But man, I'm going to make sure I did not kill this person. And I think it's important because that scene in the last episode was such a hallmark for her character. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was not followed up on near enough as much as I wanted it to be. But I did like that. And I liked Scott and Styles' reaction to it, even though it was really, really strange. Like, okay. Here we go. I like that Styles is kind of calming her down, too. Because I have a feeling she's going to be calming Styles down an awful lot in the future.
Okay, and then my last thing, I think, is they find the book, when Malia finds the book. And I'm just like, how freaking cheesy can you get? But it's also it's a promise of something interesting.
Or it's fanfic come to life.
Liam is somebody's self-insert, and you can't tell me different.
Oh, I agree 100%.
He goes from being Scott 2.0 to Styles 2.0 to Jackson 2.0. Next thing you know, he's going to be Derek 2.0 and be a damn sensei.
Derek didn't even have time to be Derek 2.0. I don't want Liam to go there. I think that season 4 should just herefore be called That Which Shall Not Be Named.
The season that we shall not speak.
Yes. Because really we shouldn't. All right. So that was all the good stuff that happened. Let's talk about what was bad. I'm going to start. I'm going to read directly from my recap. Sorry. Here we go. So, let's recap, shall we? Teens scream, Theo is evil, Psycho is now literally a monster, Lydia's been stabbed, Deaton's fled, mass steampunk scientists are making kids into their own personal bestiary. Why, yes, Jeff Davis, I do think this is the perfect time to insert a random rave scene. Why not have the plot come to a screeching halt? Why not spend a quarter of the episode with obnoxiously loud music, shirtless, slutty douchebags, and subplots that mean squat? Obviously, the important thing is that Mason desperately needs to get laid right now. What the hell?
Yeah. What she said. If I had to describe it, and this is for lack of a better phrase, it was all style and no substance, but the style wasn't even that stylish.
Oh my goodness.
It was kind of garish, to be honest.
It was ridiculous. I have never felt so old in an episode of Teen Wolf in my life. This was worse than Mexico Mafia dancing. What the heck?
No. We didn't get a slow-mo hair flip. I'm sorry.
No, but I got slow-mo of a lot of other stuff. The whole point was, let's fill this place with the hottest people we can find and then make sure they have no clothes on. Or as little as we can get by with a network TV. Well, and I'm network TV, but basic cable. And not only that, but they tried to make it have a plot. I don't care about...
I know Mason's looking for love, and he's flirting with one of the bad guys, and Brett saves him. Liam's spider senses are tingling.
It's the subplot of Liam Hader's money woes. And random bartender gets a line to prove that he's a douchebag. I already knew he was a douchebag. I just had to look at him and knew he was a douchebag. What was the point of that scene?
Why are we supposed to care about Hayden? Like, I know that she's obviously probably some kind of supernatural creature because she healed herself from that situation with Tracy, or maybe she's going to turn into something. I don't know. But
no,
I don't care. She's the least interesting character. Her name isn't even in the damn title sequence. I don't care.
We haven't even heard her name, period, in the whole show. Never once have they called her Hayden. So... she's Liam Hader for me, first off, and I don't care about her. If she doesn't get a name, Greenberg has a name, and we haven't even seen him. So, seriously, what the heck? This is just crazy. We spent a quarter of the episode watching slutty people dance and watching people that have no purpose to the plot so far having issues. Why in the world is a high school sophomore the bouncer of a club?
She's a shot girl. She snuck them in the back. She's not the bouncer. Let's not get crazy.
She's serving drinks as a high school sophomore. That's crazy.
Oh, I know.
That is illegal. That is like, if this is really a legitimate club, like they seem to be suggesting it is, instead of I keep calling it a rave, but it really is a club. If that is really a legitimate club, there is no way it would ever still be around.
Not in California. Mm-mm.
You cannot hire underage kids to sell drinks, especially drinks in science beakers. What the heck? It's in a test tube.
Well, no, that's a thing in a lot of clubs, especially a lot of like EDM clubs.
But you can't have her do that because it's an open container.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know all the laws about alcohol and minors in restaurants. It's crazy. You should have been there to be the consultant, Dawn.
I'm telling you, they need somebody, because not only was I ticked off that we did not have any forward plot movement, and we really had no forward plot movement in the entire episode up to this point. I was not only ticked off that it never ended. It was like on forever on my TV. I was ticked off because I didn't care about any of these people. None of them. I didn't care about Mason and Liam. Why the heck would I care about tall prep blonde, douche bartender, and Liam Hader? I mean, come on. And on top of that, my logical brain is going, what the heck? There is no way this scene could ever happen. This should have been, first off, it is season 4. This is a season 4 scene. This is a season 4 episode, period. But it was like, all you need to do is throw in some angsty bowling and you've got the worst episode of Teen Wolf. Period. It was horrible. This may literally be the worst episode of Teen Wolf. This might beat angsty bowling.
I don't know. That one was pretty tough to get through.
And that's not the only bad part of the episode. If it was, I could just fast forward through the whole thing and be okay. And by the way, I did do that twice.
They left Styles unprotected is the biggest faux pas of this whole episode for me.
Well, that was stupid. That was just downright stupid. And it's Malia. And Malia doesn't get social graces, but she gets loyalty.
Yeah, that's basically her mate. She said so. She's like, I wouldn't leave you.
Right.
But she did.
What the heck? And quite frankly, first off, Malia can't drive. So I'm assuming that she wolfed out and got there. Wouldn't it make sense? Of course, Styles' Jeep doesn't run anyway, so forget that. I was going to go with it, be faster, go with Styles' Jeep.
So that's why she left him behind, because his Jeep is junk. Makes Malia sense,
playing. She's like, forget the duct tape, I'm moving on. No, but it was completely out of character for Malia. And quite frankly, it would not have taken her that long to just get him up out of bed, because we've seen her wake him up before. That's documented. So that didn't make any sense at all.
Well, he also shouldn't be that passed out because he doesn't have his pillow.
Yes.
And Styles is he's a heavy sleeper, but he doesn't just pass out like that anywhere because he's got...
Right. Just a few. And getting more, apparently. Okay? So that made no sense. What the heck is up with the dramatic slow-mo? I mean, dramatic slow-mo in every episode. It's ridiculous, but it's a Teen Wolf thing. But they had more slow-mo in this episode than they have in all of them.
They were trying to eke out the runtime. I told you this is the shortest episode of Teen Wolf in a while at 40 minutes and 38 seconds. And the slow-mo had to add at least 2 minutes.
Well, it is the most fillery of all filler episodes that we've had so far this season. Well, we haven't had a filler episode this season. But this is the most fillery of all filler episodes they may have ever had. And it's just ridiculous. It is the angsty bowling episode. It really is.
Literally nothing happens except for Theo, which is at the beginning, basically. And then at the end, where they find the book and the drug doctor show themselves. Could we just made this a webisode?
Exactly. Cut out all the rest of it. They could have added this to last episode and that would have been fine. I understand that the director, and I assume it's the director that made this choice and not the writers, but I understand that he wanted to show the Lydia dying scene from Styles' point of view and that he was all stalled, but it didn't work. It was overly dramatic in an episode that, one, should have put that first. Absolutely. And the slow-mo, I think, wouldn't have bothered me as much if it was first. But to put it partway through the episode and do slow-mo, it did not work. It was a storytelling faux pas for me.
Yeah.
So I hated
that.
This
episode was not plotted well, and the pacing was sucky on top of everything else.
Oh, yeah. Right? And why in the world did we suddenly get season 3 sheriff? Did that make sense to anyone? I mean, all of a sudden he's like, no, we have to keep the body here for the coroner. Since when?
Well, I think they're trying to say that he's feeling pressure. You know, he's already had issues about people questioning how good he is at his job. And, you know, he couldn't really deal with it, with the Negatuni thing. In season 4, he was just kind of still keeping an eye out on Styles. And now all hell is, well, the whole hellmouth is breaking loose. And, you know, he's just having all these moral quandaries at this point.
It just felt off to me. In all honesty, every single character feels off right now to me. And I'm hoping that that's going to tie into the steampunk scientists. If it doesn't, I'm going to be really disappointed. But right now...
I said, I hope you're not disappointed, because I've been feeling that way for a while. I just couldn't put my finger on if it's intentional or not.
Well, they're all off. I mean, Malia's weird flashbacks, Styles' over anxiety. I mean, he's always been anxious, but it's crazy now. Scott's desperate need to, I don't even know what. He's got a desperate need for a plan, first off. The studying thing, I don't even know why we're going back to science class. Anyway, besides, of course, plot device. But, he seems extra needy right now, and I don't even know what that is about. Kira can't control her energy. Liam is turning into the most cuddly of all cuddly IED patients ever.
He's a Care Bear.
Yeah. And suddenly Mason is the horniest person on the planet. Yeah. They're all weird right now. Sheriff is getting all flustered about stuff that hasn't flustered him before. It just feels like everybody is off. And I'm good with that if we're going somewhere with it. If it's just this episode, I'm good with that too, because I'm planning on forgetting this episode ever existed. But if it continues, I need some background for it, because especially with Styles, there's no way that something supernatural is not happening to him at this point. It can't be. Or else they've just totally tossed his character out the window. And I won't be able to get that. I won't be able to get behind that, first off. So.
All right. Did we have any history lessons or vocabulary lessons?
No, we have more nitpicks.
Really? Okay.
Yes, and I'm just going to read them off. Here we go. Everything Lydia and Parrish. Lydia burns herself with a lighter like a moron. Seriously, Lydia? You're a genius and you can't work a lighter? Come on, buddy. Deaton worries about the tail instead of getting Lydia, who's dying on the floor, medical help. Good plan, buddy. Love your priorities there. Scott and Sheriff want Styles to go into the basement, even though, for all they know, they still have a Canema monster down there, and he might be walking in on Malia's dead, mangled body. What was that plan? Does no one remember Styles as human? No one? It makes zero sense to have Styles go down into the basement with the monster instead of, I don't know, Kira going downstairs with the monster and having Styles hold Lydia's guts inside. Come on, people. What's wrong with you? Can we talk about the dental work? Come on. That may be the most disgusting thing ever, and it was drawn out. For a scene that wasn't very long, I did not need to see 4 teeth popping out to get the message. I know what they're doing. We've got slow-mo. Raving is just gotta go. Period. Every rave scene they've ever done sucked. Okay? And then under the not enough pile, we have almost zero action until we get to the very end where tall prep blonde leads the way. Okay. And then we don't even get Styles. Styles sleeps through everything important in this episode. Seriously? Did Dylan need to go, was he doing something for Maze Runner? Why is he not in this episode? Does anybody know why he's not in this episode? And I don't just mean
we're killing this character off, Dawn, and we're trying to make him not as important.
They can't kill Styles.
We're doing an Allison at this point.
They better not do an Allison, period. And second off, they can't kill Styles. They just can't. And how is Jeff Davis going to end with Scott and Styles scene if Styles is dead?
It'll be a flashback that they filmed at the beginning of the series or something. They'll pull a How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, please no. I don't even watch that show, and I know how much people hate that. Anyway, no Styles, no deal. So fix it. Please fix it. And please do not ever let this happen ever, ever again. This episode was pointless and a waste of my time. Now I'm done with my lowlights. There you go.
Okay. Vocabulary lesson. I have one. Do you have one?
Chimera.
Yep. I also, something that Scott was writing while he was in science class, trying to describe Dayglow Nail Werewolf. He calls him Belasco, which is a Great Gatsby reference. It means somebody who does things in a spectacular way. I thought that was kind of awkward.
I think that's completely out of character. Since when does Scott read?
He reads stuff that has to do with wolves, like,
Uh-huh.
like we saw.
So what you're saying is that
White Fang.
he violated copyright and just stole somebody's idea? I don't know. No. I think they're pushing too hard on Scott here. I'm not even sure where this is going. And I don't know. I think we also learned it wasn't just a vocabulary lesson. It was also a science lesson on mutation, how two animals can't share the same gene, or one animal can't have two different animals' gene pools, or whatever the heck they were trying to say. We got taught. It was in science class. She's
nucleotides.
Yes.
Very good, Theo.
What's up with everybody praising Theo for everything at this point?
He's Scott too.
He's evil.
He's evil Scott.
Oh, yes, that's exactly it. Personally, I think that science teacher is his handler.
Ooh, there is a theory going around that she might be the geneticist.
Oh,
but I said we already had an evil we already had two kind of technically evil teachers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but it's Team Wolf. If you're a teacher, you're either
lunch,
yes, monster fodder, or you're evil, or you're someone's parent. Those are your only choices.
Yeah. So I found that interesting that they're like really trying to go for that educational grant with that science class at this point. Let's see.
Might as well call it Plot Device 101 because that's what it's there. Anytime they need to know about the science of what's going on, and I put science in air quotes, that's going to be the lesson of the day.
Okay, so let's get to the grade because I do have a conspiracy theory and some stuff to add to the wall of weird.
Okay. Well, I was incredibly generous on this episode. Incredibly generous. As a matter of fact, on my recap, I bumped it up to a C. I'm not feeling that generous after the fourth rewatch, so not happening there. I'm going to go with a D+, and that's generous.
I agree with that being generous. I'm going to even go a little bit lower and go D-. I haven't really been feeling season 5. I mean, yeah, it's better than season 4, but this isn't Jeff Davis, for me personally, working at the top level that he's capable of. And like I said, if everybody's off for a reason, that's fine. But ever since the season began, it just doesn't feel like the Teen Wolf that I want to watch. I mean, they're shoving Mason down my throat, and that's horrible. Mm-hmm. Then we have Hayden, and I mean, do we really, really need another lacrosse player when it's not even lacrosse season? So, it's just a lot of little things that have been adding up to me not liking the big picture thus far. The Dread Doctors are cool aesthetically, but at this point, they're just annoying little flies that, or one of those little flutters that you get in your eye on your peripheral. Like, that's what they are right now.
I like this season. I like this season a lot. Part of the reason why I like this season a lot is because I hated season 4. But I feel like this is a season 4 episode. Nothing happens. There is so much exposition. And most of that exposition is stuff that we already know. And it's like, okay, you can either tell us what we already know, or we can try to drown out everybody's complaints with the super loud, freaky music. One of the two. And it just bugs me to no end. We hear Chimera defined twice in this episode. Not just once, but twice. Just in case you missed it. Come on. Everything out of Deaton's mouth we have already actually literally seen. So why are we spending 6 minutes on that? Why?
To fill time. It's a recap within a recap. The thing you hate.
Oh, absolutely. Not only mention that, but we have a literal recapitation when Malia is clicking a pen and suddenly that makes her remember the scene where Tracy dies. And then we get to see the scene where Tracy dies again. Every single thing was pointless. It was sad. In the whole thing, we get Lydia's okay because apparently she has super healing now. that must be the fastest surgery they've ever done. I mean, do we remember Beacon Hills last season where Sheriff gets shot on the job and they say, okay, well, maybe we can have surgery next week or the next day. The next day. Okay. Because we all know Melissa was, working her other job at that point. She couldn't possibly take the bullet out. So, I mean, Lydia's super healing. Parrish is a creepy stalker. Mason needs to get his hormones in check, buddy. Seriously. Or die, either one. Liam needs to figure out what character he is, because I still don't know at this point. He's flip-flopped so many times. It's like he's been literally every character. He's been the shadow of every single character on the show. At this point, I hope he pulls Greenberg and goes off so I can hear about him and never see him. Greenberg 2.0. Go for it.
No such luck.
It's just every single thing was pointless. And I could literally have watched 7 minutes and not have missed anything.
Not good. Yeah, at the end of the day, they kept telling us instead of showing us, and it's kind of a bummer, especially since they're going for the horror trope. Like, that's just not how the horror trope works. You're supposed to build up tension and make people, ooh, what's going to happen next? And I was just like, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward.
Well, if you think about it, every character that we don't care about had an exposition scene also. We've got bartender exposition about drinking. We've got Liam haters exposition on her money woes. We've got Screamer expositioning on Scorpio. We've got Mason giving us I don't even know what that was, zombie movie critique? I don't know. Deaton tells us everything we've already heard. It's just ridiculous. I didn't even know who Screamer and Scorpio were, and they're still telling me stuff. Chick I've seen for approximately 3 minutes, she's telling me stuff. I don't really want to hear what you think about what's going on. I really don't. Could you please give me some action? Any action at this point. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know this episode. I hope it gets better, but it almost has to. We're going to Aiken House next week, so.
Well, and we're getting Styles and his mom, so that's gonna be tough.
Sure.
Well, we're getting Styles angst. How's that? And that ought to be tough.
And we're getting the fan-made creature too as well. Or is that 506? It's one of the two, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be tied to Aiken House in some kind of way.
Aiken House.
Unless we're supposed to.
Not that Aiken House won't be. Right. And Aiken House could possibly be in every episode from here on out.
It really could. So yeah. Okay, conspiracy theories. I know you don't care what Parrish is, but that is the main mystery that is going on in the fandom.
I know. That salamander boy.
Oh, I hate that theory. I would say that he is a dragon, or something really cool, which would explain why he and Lydia seem drawn to each other, is that he's like a psychopump or a hellhound, and the Dread Doctors are some kind of personification of the Wild Hunt. And I think that is more close to the truth.
Yeah, hellhound's my favorite theory so far. I think it makes a lot of sense. It explains why he can go through fire, first off. I think that it also it gives him a guardian role without necessarily being an evil role. Mm-hmm. I think that's what Team Wolf really wants to do. Personally, I wish he would go evil, but yeah, I'm leaning towards Hellhound also.
Yeah, I like Psychopump better because it's kind of more along the lines of fairies, which technically banshees can fall in the category of, and I don't know. I just kind of want to open up the mythology and actually have it make sense and connect to stuff other than like, oh, hey, we're dealing with Aztec here and Norse mythology over here, and somehow they combined. I just kind of want something a little more linear, I guess.
I'm okay with them throwing any kind of monster they want at me, as long as they remember that the heart of this story is Scott and Styles.
I think it's going to become a creep show. But
And you know what? That's fine with me. If they want to go monster of the week, I'm okay with that.
I mean, and have that be the forefront.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine with me if they want to go that way. I just need it to have a logical reason for existing, and the Nemeton takes care of most of that. And I need it to have more action.
Yeah.
And if you got a monster week and you got to take down a monster every week, you're going to have some kind of action in there. Unless you're Grimm, where you're literally just going to talk them down.
You're gonna read a book, drink some tea, watch Monroe play his cello or whatever interesting thing he's doing that week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll
Agreed.
talk you down and then we'll arrest you. Okay, good.
Who was your MVP in the?
Oh, this is me getting snarky. I apologize in advance. My MVP of the episode is the screen cap of Styles sleeping. It helped me explain an awful lot of how I felt about this episode.
Aww. The realization that Hot Doc maybe needs to come in more for me. I think that would, like I said earlier in previous episodes, I think that's going to help Liam. He's been the most sympathetic with him. He also played really great off of Melissa. And we kind of need to expand Team Parent since Arjun is gone at the moment.
Yeah, but we're getting Mama Martin or whatever we're calling her, so.
But if she's going to Joyce it and just pretend like it didn't happen and be an ostrich, I don't know how good I am with that.
I am wondering if secretly she knows everything about this.
She almost has to, though, right?
I would love if she knows everything about this. I would love then Lydia to go off on her for not telling her that she knows everything about this. But I would really, really like if there was a parent, like Argent was, who's in the know before their kids are.
But that would be so evil if she knew what Lydia was and wasn't trying to help her. Because that can get you killed in Beacon Hills. Mm-hmm. Secrets get heroes killed. And if it's a parent in the process of hiding something, I mean, a hunter, I can kind of sort of understand it because Gerard and Cole were douchebags.
Oh, yeah.
And they were definitely trying to corrupt Allison. Everybody had their own agenda for Allison. So I understand Arjun's kind of stand on that. But in this case, I mean, it literally could get Lydia killed.
I want Mama McCall to be, or not Mama McCall. See, I gotta have a new name for this lady. It can't be Mama. It's too close to Mama McCall. And she's no longer Science Mom. So she's gotta come with some. I want her to be one of the people who is secretly running Beacon Hills and knows everything that's going on.
That's her, that was her job over on the Vampire Diaries.
I did not know that. Okay.
She was a werewolf.
So maybe
mom.
That's not going to happen.
She was the mayor. No, yeah, she was the mayor.
Well, that sucks. That can't happen now, and I really wish that's what happened. Ugh. There you go. Vampire Diaries ruining my great thoughts for Teen Wolf. I want her to be super... I want her to be powerful. I really do. Because I think we need a powerful parent again.
I agree. But if it makes you feel better, I heard that Arjun was coming back in the back half of 5B. So
I'm really excited about that because I miss that man.
And I think Derek and Braden are going to come into the fold as well. So it should be some interesting updates. Let's see. Character of the night.
Mama McCall. She's the only person I liked.
I don't know. I'm going to give it to Liam.
Woo!
Yeah, it's a rough episode, but I don't know. He had some sense about him this episode. Hey, shouldn't we be doing something? Hey, you don't feel that supernatural spider tingly thing? Which
I feel with my super special spider snowflake senses. I didn't like that. He's always the super special one. Every freaking episode, he's super special.
I'm okay with that because it is what it is at this point.
I feel like they're pushing him on me too much. He's about to be skied.
Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reference, I believe.
Yes, sorry.
No, I just don't watch that. Like, I watched the first 3 episodes and I never
Yes.
really went back to it.
Uh,
Scene of the night? Oh, no, best character interactions.
most frequent character interaction, exposition in every single character on the show. Best character interaction, Scott and Mama McCall.
Okay, I can see that. Uh, I guess I'm gonna co-sign on that because I can't think of anything else.
I racked my brain to even figure out which characters interacted in this episode. Like, actually, literally carried on a conversation that was not exposition. And I could not think of anyone except for Styles and Malia when she erases Desert Wolf off it, which was a completely silent conversation, and Scott and Mama McCall, and Liam and Mason's nonsense banter. Those are the only times I could recall people actually interacting without it being exposition in this episode.
Yeah, it was a really disjointed episode. Everybody was all over the place and split up. I guess most notable quotable.
Mama's speech.
Okay, mine for me is Kira. What are we supposed to do? Deaton, same thing you've always done. Protect your friends, protect each other.
Yeah, that was actually in my quotes that I didn't talk about. So I like that quote too.
And the most memorable moment of this episode.
Styles gets attacked.
Next week on Teen Wolf. That was mine. No lie.
Oh yeah. I don't even want to know.
All right, happy stuff. Happy, joy. Listener feedback. I know you got some good tweets for us.
I do. I just need to scroll to find them. All right. First off, again, it is always hard to just pick 5 of the tweets from people who are on my live tweet list. If you live tweet, let me start that over again because that was just terrible. All right. First off, it's always hard to just come up with 5 tweets because I have so many fantastic people that are on my live tweet list. If you watch Teen Wolf and live tweet it, then please let me know so that I can get you on that list too. That's the way that I kind of narrow it down because, as you know, if you tweet during Teen Wolf, there's about 600 tweets per second. So this is how I narrow it down. My favorite tweet of the night came from Teen Wolf Talk, and I got to tell you that if you're not following at Teen Wolf Talk, then you really need to, because every single week I have at least 10 tweets from her that are in the running. But my favorite thing that she said was, "My kind of club is also called cinema, but there's a lot less strippers and more overpriced popcorn." You are totally on my level. What is up with this stupid club? And then at Something Cookin', which is at SUMFINSCOOKIN, he's talking as if he's Deaton, and he says, "The rules are changing. You know, the ones I've never actually informed you all about, those are different now. Good luck, fam." I was like, yep, that's pretty much true. At Styles in EREBOR, don't know how to say that, said, "Can I save the world and still pass AP Bio? The Scott McCall story." It just cracked me up. I liked it. Molly Harper is the one that we frequently talk about here. She's at Molly Harper AUTH, and she said, "That's bad girlfriending, Malia. We leave no Styles behind." Not like that. We leave no Styles behind. You're right, Jeff Davis. Remember that. And then my last one was at Hey, It's Montse, MONTSE. And she said, "Parrish is a damn walking forest fire. That's what he is." I was like, yep. Pretty much that's all we know right now. So I thought that those are all funny. I had an entire list of tweets that I really love. So if you're a live tweeter, shout out to me so that I can add you.
As for me, I have kind of moved away from Tumblr because I've come to the conclusion that I'm a little too old for Tumblr, especially the Teen Wolf fandom side of Tumblr. And I've actually kind of moved to Reddit. They have really amazing threads on there, very active, very in depth and engaging for people my age, like 25 and up, I'd say. It's actually not a lot of flame wars. It's not what I expected. Like, I've heard horrible things about Reddit, but the Teen Wolf tag on it is not one of them, not yet anyway. So some of my favorite users that post theories and really well developed arguments are You Got Reddit on You. They post really good gifs, Teen Wolf gifs, and then Crimson Fury is like the spoiler like no other. And then who else? If you are a shipper, you might want to follow Starma Leaf. They do like the romantic pairings. I know, like in Teen Wolf, in a certain demo, that's like your everything. So I have to include that. I like to be all inclusive in my research. So yeah, I definitely recommend if you're looking for something outside of Twitter and Tumblr for some engaging conversation, check out the Teen Wolf Reddit thread.
Very cool. I didn't even know that Teen Wolf had a Reddit thread.
Reddit has everything, literally everything.
Oh my.
So I think that just about does it. Unless you have any miscellaneous awards, snarky miscellaneous awards you want to share.
Let me see. I do have the biggest wardrobe malfunction, and it's not strippers at the club. Dear new deputy, I think you forgot. You're supposed to be wearing the red shirt. She just really does need to. Biggest hypocrite? Theo, I'm not sure you're the right one to be talking to Psycho about it being bad to be psychotic. I have a feeling you'd fail the test too. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and I don't think so award. Nice try, Mama McCall, but I don't see how explaining stingers is any less hard than explaining a severed tail. What really goes up with
He
that?
had hives!
Really?
It's a really bad anaphylactic shock.
That just happens to land in spikes. I've never seen spiky hives before.
There's a first time for everything in medical science, Dawn.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, and then I also have the finally someone has emergency training in Beacon Hills award. And sadly, it's Theo.
I was going to say, wait, that's Theo.
Yeah. Figures it's the guy who moved away in 4th grade that can actually do something with emergency training. Seriously, he is the one who saves Lydia with his emergency training knowledge, not Deaton, the guy who went to medical school.
Now, in all fairness, he's a vet, and I mean, unless we're talking skin, I mean, the only thing he can help with is skin, because pig skin is actually kind of like a human skin.
He's a doctor. He knows wound, bleeding, lots of blood, tourniquet.
He doesn't like Lydia. She's a rich in his evil plans. He's trying to get rid of her, Dawn. That's the subtext of that.
It has to be, because seriously, the man is like standing over the tail instead of helping a bleeding out Lydia.
What if Deaton is like a supernatural Wendigo, and he's like, get the tail so I can eat it later and have a little what do they call it in New Orleans? Oh, a little caiman. It's the gator tail. I wanted something. I feel it.
There's got to be something going on besides the fact that
he's like the supernatural Hannibal. There we go.
Okay, that'll work. Oh, I don't know. All I know is it was very easy to be snarky in this episode.
I I agree. But we do have some shameless plugs and self-promotion before we get out of here.
Absolutely. You want to go first?
Sure. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. If you don't have iTunes, you can find us on almost any podcatcher service, such as SoundCloud and what's the other one? Stitcher. All you have to do is look for Welcome to Beacon Hills. We are also on Lisbon. You just go to welcome to beaconhills.lisbon. That's LISBYN.com. Bookmark it, and you can stay up to date with the podcast that way. Be sure to check out Southgate Media Group's provider page if you do have iTunes to see all the hot and trending shows that we have. If you want the full list, be sure to head over to www.southgatemediagroup.com where you can see a list of 80 plus podcasts along with the weekly blogs and information about your hosts.
It is a really great page to go to because we have something for everyone.
From animated wrestling, we got you covered, and even a little bit more, honestly. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. If you are still on Tumblr, my URL has changed to itslilithhellfire.tumblr.com. And if you love comic books and/or pop culture, please be sure to swing by my newish blog, littlepopculturevulture.blogspot.com.
Very cool. And you can always find me on Twitter. That's where I'm at most days. I'm at Dahne1. That's at DAHNE1. You can find me on my blog also. That's Dahne1.blogspot.com. And I'm also over at Spoiler TV where I recap Teen Wolf and run the best.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, SouthgateMediaGroup.com.
So you can find me over there at
SpoilerTV.com. It can be as little as $1 or
that is all that we have to
as much as
you
want.
On
Help
504
keep this fun going
Terminal.
by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening,
Thank you so much
everyone.
for listening to us.
You're
We'd
the
love to get
best
your
fans
opinion,
in the
so
world.
don't forget to give us some feedback. And until next time, remember, turn down the blasted music. Because, dude, that's just rude.